The End of Trauma: How the New Science of Trauma Recovery Can Transform Our Lives by George A. Bonanno is a groundbreaking exploration of trauma recovery, challenging traditional views and presenting new insights into how people can overcome traumatic experiences. Bonanno, a clinical psychologist and researcher, offers a fresh perspective on resilience and recovery, grounded in decades of scientific research. Introduction: Rethinking Trauma. George A. Bonanno begins by questioning conventional wisdom about trauma and recovery. He introduces the concept of resilience, arguing that many people have a natural ability to recover from traumatic events without the need for extensive therapeutic intervention. The introduction sets the stage for a discussion about how new scientific findings can change our understanding of trauma and recovery. Part 1: The Science of Trauma and Resilience. Chapter 1: Understanding Trauma. Bonanno defines trauma and explores its effects on individuals. He examines the various types of traumatic events, such as natural disasters, personal loss, and violence. The chapter provides a foundation for understanding how trauma impacts mental and physical health and introduces the concept of resilience as a key factor in recovery. Chapter 2: The Resilience Revolution. In this chapter, Bonanno discusses the concept of resilience and how it challenges traditional views of trauma recovery. He presents evidence showing that many people recover from trauma with minimal psychological disruption. The chapter highlights the importance of resilience and the factors that contribute to it, such as social support, personal coping strategies, and individual differences. Chapter 3: The Science of Recovery. Bonanno delves into the scientific research on trauma and recovery, examining studies on how people respond to traumatic events. He discusses various recovery trajectories, including acute stress, delayed response, and resilient recovery. The chapter emphasizes the role of biological, psychological, and social factors in shaping recovery outcomes. Part 2: The New Paradigm of Trauma Recovery. Chapter 4: The Role of Emotion. Bonanno explores the role of emotions in trauma recovery, challenging the idea that suppressing or avoiding emotions is detrimental. He presents evidence suggesting that adaptive emotional processing can facilitate recovery. The chapter discusses strategies for managing emotions in a healthy way and their impact on the recovery process. Chapter 5: The Importance of Social Connections. This chapter focuses on the role of social support in trauma recovery. Bonanno highlights research showing that strong social connections and supportive relationships are crucial for resilience and recovery. He examines how social networks provide emotional support, practical assistance, and a sense of belonging, all of which contribute to healing. Chapter 6: The Power of Meaning and Purpose. Bonanno discusses the importance of finding meaning and purpose after a traumatic event. He explores how individuals who can make sense of their experiences and integrate them into their lives tend to recover more effectively. The chapter provides insights into how meaning-making processes can facilitate emotional healing and personal growth. Part 3: Practical Implications for Trauma Recovery. Chapter 7: Rethinking Therapeutic Approaches. In this chapter, Bonanno critiques traditional therapeutic approaches to trauma, such as prolonged exposure therapy and the focus on pathology. He advocates for a shift toward approaches that emphasize resilience and the natural capacity for recovery. The chapter explores alternative therapeutic strategies that align with the new paradigm of trauma recovery. Chapter 8: Implementing Resilience-Based Strategies. Bonanno offers practical advice for individuals, clinicians, and policymakers on implementing resilience-based strategies in trauma recovery. He provides guidance on fostering resilience through personal coping skills, social support, and community resources. The chapter includes recommendations for integrating these strategies into mental health practices and public health initiatives. Chapter 9: The Future of Trauma Research. The final chapter reflects on the future directions of trauma research and recovery. Bonanno discusses emerging trends and areas of investigation, such as the role of neuroplasticity and the impact of cultural factors on trauma recovery. He emphasizes the need for continued research and innovation in understanding and addressing trauma. Conclusion: Embracing Resilience. Bonanno concludes by summarizing the key insights from the book and reinforcing the importance of resilience in trauma recovery. He encourages readers to embrace the new science of trauma recovery, which highlights the capacity for resilience and the potential for transformative healing. The book ends with a call to adopt a more nuanced and hopeful perspective on trauma and recovery. The End of Trauma: How the New Science of Trauma Recovery Can Transform Our Lives offers a fresh and empowering perspective on trauma recovery. George A. Bonanno's exploration of resilience, emotional processing, and social support provides valuable insights into how individuals can overcome traumatic experiences and lead fulfilling lives. The book challenges traditional views and offers practical strategies for fostering resilience, making it a significant contribution to the field of trauma research and recovery.